Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Star Wars Headlines. It's Life Day. Happy Life Day, Mike.
Happy Life Day. I was just asking you what's the response to Happy Life Day. I guess you just say Happy Life Day back to the other person, right?
I've been going with that. I figure you could also get away with some of the usual phrases when people wish you a happy anything, because it's
Right.
sort of it's a season that celebrates family, happiness, peace. So any of those, I think, will work. But here
Agreed.
we are. It's another week. Usually, you would see us on Thursdays, right, Mike? We're usually a Thursday show.
Yeah, though it's been shifting around a bit lately.
Yeah. But today, because it was Life Day, we went ahead and got together early this week, and we'll fill you in on what's kind of happening in the world of Star Wars. And a lot of it will be centered around the Life Day fun that they've been having, beginning with the Lego special that popped up on Disney Plus.
Yeah, so this is a 45-minute holiday special. There's some references to the original 1978 Star Wars holiday special, but it's mostly an all-new story. It actually takes place after the Rise of Skywalker. So one of the very few stories that we've seen take place after that movie, although it's not canon. This is a fun
Right?
Lego
Yep.
adventure with a lot of comedy, and it's got a lot of time travel craziness and stuff. So it's not actually part of the overall Star Wars canon. It's just a way to have fun with the franchise, I think.
I liked the description of it if you gathered up your Star Wars Legos and just kind of dumped them out on the floor, and yet you made yourself a holiday story. What might you come up with? And that's what we have here. Overall, Mike, how did you feel about the holiday story?
Yeah, I thought it was fun. I think it's certainly like a lot more watchable and entertaining than the original holiday special, which is notoriously boring and interminably long. So this is a lot quicker, and there's a lot more adventure and action and comedy in it. And I don't think the writing in this is as sharp as you would see in like the theatrical Lego movies, like the Lego movie with Chris Pratt and Lego Movie 2 and Batman Lego Movie. I love all those movies. They're really, really clever and funny. And the writing level is like half of what I would expect from that. But it's still fun, I guess.
I was expecting a few more deliberate homages to the classic 78, like
Yeah.
the Harvey Korman, stir, whip, whip,
Yeah.
whip, stir. I expected, some of kind of those little moments more. And, but, but more than anything, I came away from this disappointed that I didn't have a singable song. No, no, nothing like, everything is awesome, right? From the Lego movie or
Yeah.
the Phineas and Ferb holiday specials, or just Phineas and Ferb in general. There's that comedy, and yet you come away with this little catchy song in your head, and I was hoping that I would have a Life Day song born out of this Lego special. But overall, it was
Yeah.
fun. I had a good time watching it. I watched it this morning with my son, and we had a lot of fun. He particularly laughed when at the sequence when they're dropping through a lot of different scenes of different
Uh,
films through this portal, and that provided quite a bit of humor. And right here you can see one of the jokes with Darth Maul, kind of that top half of Darth Maul crawling along the sand.
oh yeah, that
So
is a
that
good
that
guess.
that caught a bit of a laugh.
All right.
So,
And then there's
but
like
you
the moment
actually
where
go ahead.
Greedo is like pointing his blaster at two different Han Solos, the young one and the old one. I thought that was good. And
Yep.
they're celebrating Life Day back on the Millennium Falcon, which is parked on Kashyyyk, the Wookiee home planet, and I think Poe's trying to get everybody together to decorate everything, and they want to make like Tip Yip, which is the equivalent of a chicken in Star
Yeah.
Wars, basically. And then Rey is off having like her own adventure going. She's trying to train Finn, actually, who's now, I guess, confirmed to be force sensitive. So in the Lego universe anyway, but she's lost confidence in her ability to be a Jedi master and train a Padawan apprentice, and she figures the best way to do that is to witness how other Jedi masters were doing it in the past, and that kind of sets her off on this adventure through time and through this time portal she finds in a Jedi temple.
And those of you who are watching us, we're live. So if you want to go ahead and comment, let us know what you think about it. Offer us any questions, maybe a favorite Easter egg that you spotted. Go ahead. We'll post your comment. We'd love to hear from you. Mike, you actually got to speak with had the opportunity to do an interview, like a one-off, a quick one question with the legendary Anthony Daniels as a result of this episode.
Yeah, so he did a press conference, a virtual press conference on Friday this past week, and I was there for the whole press conference, but I only got to ask one question, but it was still amazing just to talk to him for a few minutes out of that whole half-hour event, and he was really forthcoming about not only this new Lego Star Wars Holiday Special and how excited he was to be a part of it, but also like his time making the original 1978 Star Wars Holiday Special and how miserable everybody was on set. So I thought that was pretty funny to hear those firsthand from him.
And you can find the whole interview written out by Mike on Laughing Place, and along with his brief question with Anthony Daniels over same channel right here on YouTube.
Yeah.
And then today on Laughing Place, if you were with us earlier today, you would have enjoyed a interplanetary celebration because we not only had Mike Celestino over at Downtown Disney, Anaheim, California, but we also had our East Coast correspondent, Jeremiah, traveling far beyond to Batuu. He jumped to Batuu, and in the midst of all that, Mike shared with us what he discovered wandering through Downtown Disney. So I think first, Mike will highlight some of the merchandise that you spotted at Downtown Disney today.
Well, you want to talk about the stuff from the reservation event, or you want to talk about?
You know what? I'm not sure I pulled that information. So go ahead and talk about this while I pull that up real quick.
Okay, yeah, I think that's one of the walls there from the reservation only thing at the ESPN zone.
Oh,
that photo that we're looking at right there.
This is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah.
So this was another one of those enchanting extras things that you had to sign up for in advance on Disneyland.com, and they go like instantaneously. You have to like be there at the first second to get a reservation. Fortunately, we were able to get one this time, but that's most of the stuff that was available. There were some new plushes, some new. There was a new CB-23 droid who was in the Star Wars Resistance cartoon. That's a remote control droid. And then I got this Grand Admiral Thrawn, little wooden puppet who's just like the ones that you see in the Toydarian toy shop in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. You know, they previously had Admiral Akbar, I think, C-3PO, and a couple other ones. I forget who else. A Stormtrooper, I think, was one of the other ones.
Okay.
And then I got this, which is actually like Life Day and Star Wars Holiday Special specific because it's Boba Fett as the way he looked in the Star Wars Holiday Special in that same color scheme that that was his first ever appearance in the 1978 Holiday Special. There's the back with the jetpack and stuff, and I think this is a limited edition or limited release item, so it's probably going to go pretty quick. So I wanted to grab one of those. There's also some new patches. I got this patch. It's DJ Rex at Oga's Cantina. And it says RX24, which I guess is his number now. And another new Droid Depot action figure of Forlom, the bounty hunter. And I've got other action figures of Forlom, but I just thought it was cool that they put him out in the Droid Depot collection. So I think I'm going to keep this one in the packaging like that. It's pretty nice looking packaging.
That is some nice. That is really attractive. Yeah, I can see why.
And then the last thing I got is probably my favorite, and this was the Droid Depot Droids 5-pack, and it's got all 5 of the droids that you see parked outside of Droid Depot in Galaxy's Edge in the same order that you see them.
Wow.
If you're in the park. This is okay. It's on the back. I got it like a cheat sheet of their names.
Okay, cool.
R1J1 here. BR72, L4R6, C2B9, and EG01, and he's a gonk droid
That's
there,
so
and these are
fun.
astromechs. This guy first appeared in the Force Awakens, this type of droid, and then this is a R1 series droid that you can see in the original Star Wars film by the Jawa Sandcrawler.
There you go.
But I really like that set, and it's just cool. It's always cool to have like toys that represent something in the theme park. I always really like that. I bought, the Lego sets. I didn't get the Disney Castle, although that looks like Cinderella Castle in Florida. I did get the Disneyland Railroad Station and the Galaxy's Edge. Not that pod, but
Yeah, we got this one. We
the
also have the shuttle, the
right.
Lego set that they did
Yeah.
the shuttle.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. The ITS shuttle
Yeah.
Resistance. So I don't know. I always really like when they make toys of things like. I think Gideon seems to have a lot of those too. He has the Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway toy and stuff. This is always
Yeah,
neat
which
to
by the
me.
way, that if you like toys that represent the theme parks, check out the new McDonald's Happy Meal toy set because it's a collection of, I want to say it's 10 vehicles. And it's things like Daisy in a Soarin' car and Minnie Mouse riding a dinosaur rover. And what it can do is you can then link them all together into a train. But now we're off the Star Wars topic. But
Well, before we leave, I want to know which ride vehicle is Donald in.
oh, I don't recall.
Okay,
I have
because that's
Doobie
my
here though.
favorite of the Mickey and
I'll
Friends.
make Doobie look. I know I saw Goofy in a train,
Okay,
so I have to have Doobie look it up for me.
thanks.
Happymeals.com, Doobie. And then also you found there was a collection of patches that came out.
Yeah, I think actually Jeremiah had better pictures of this in his post from. There you go, right there. Wow, that was quick. You found that instantaneously.
I'm
Uh,
trying.
so
trying.
he took a picture of each individual one, and these represent the 4 Jedi paths that you can choose at Savi's workshop, and I can never remember what all 4 of them are. One of them is elemental, I know,
It's
and
let's see. The 4 types are I have them written down here.
okay,
Protection and defense pin and patch, and then a peace and justice pin and patch, the power and control,
right,
and elemental.
right. Power and control is like the dark side one.
Ah, okay. So that would be this one, I'm guessing.
I guess so.
That feels dark side to me.
Sure.
But I don't know because this one reminds me of the logo that was on the Empire the shape of the Empire elevator. So there you go.
Could
Which I
be.
noticed.
I'm not
I
sure.
noticed today for the first time in watching. I watched A New Hope because it was Life Day, so I threw on A New Hope.
Nice.
So that's what I did. But back at Downtown Disney, there was also some new shirts. This Force Wielder.
Oh yeah.
Right.
This is
And,
also part of that shopping event. So I tried to take pictures of the things that I did not buy, which is this shirt was one of them, and this is the other shirt that I saw there.
I like this shirt.
Yeah. And then they had a X-wing pilot helmet. Simple enough.
And some Maz Kanata plush, some Porg.
Yeah. Although we've seen the Maz Kanata and the regular Boba Fett on the bottom row there.
Mm-hmm.
That's been available already in Galaxy's Edge and at the Star Wars Trading Post, I think, in Downtown Disney recently. So I don't know. They're treating it as a brand new release, but I guess it wasn't supposed to be out yet, and then they took them all and put them in here.
Alfred just watched the Star Wars Holiday Special and he loved it. I'm so glad.
That's great. Which one, Alfred?
Yeah,
Did you watch
which one?
The Lego one or the original one?
Right. Yeah.
And then there's
and I've
Porg.
learned for you, Mike, that Donald is in a teacup in
Okay.
in the Happy Meal collection.
Yeah,
So,
I don't know how much that appeals to me, but we'll see. I don't
I
go to
think-
McDonald's ever.
You know, you can just buy the toy individually in a lot of them. Not all, but a lot
Oh,
of them.
really?
will
I
let
didn't
you
know
just
that.
buy the toy. Yeah.
Okay.
And over at Batu, of course, Jeremiah was fortunate enough to actually be on planet
Yeah.
and celebrate Life Day. He stopped by Docking Bay 7 and enjoyed some Endorian chip yip. He also did his own little bit of shopping, which some of the similar items that Mike had seen on this coast, the CB-23, the holiday Boba Fett figure. And then there
Now,
was
did Jeremiah say? I forgot to ask him. Did he say whether the citizens of Batu were dressed any differently, or did he see anything different
he
happening around?
he did not notice anything different in the
Okay.
demeanor or participation of anybody on Batu, and it was actually, I have to admit, I could tell he was a little bit disappointed because I like even Chewie, I guess he saw Chewie and he made a comment to Chewie and he didn't feel like the interaction reflected embrace of Life Day, so he was a bit disappointed.
Yeah, I have a feeling that if this year had gone
Oh,
the
totally.
way that we all wanted
Right.
it to, um, that we would have not only we would have had a better May the 4th celebration back in May at both Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, but we would have had a much bigger to do about Life Day. And I think they had all this merch planned for Life Day, but there would have been more stuff happening in the land itself
Oh,
for that
totally.
holiday. And
Yeah,
hopefully we'll
I
get that next year.
I agree. And Alfred let us know it was the Lego one that he watched. And yeah, I
Cool.
agree. The Disney Plus Lego special was a lot of fun. So I'm looking forward to more. I hope it'll be the beginning. I hope there's more because it was a lot of fun that they were able to have with it. And it's like not canon, so they can be a little bit zany and wacky with it, which is
Yeah.
it's a fun time. Kind of like the old event that would end the Star Wars weekends, where you'd have like stormtroopers dancing and all that insanity. Oh, that had a special name. The
Was it
hoopla,
Hyperspace
hyperspace
Hoopla?
hoopla.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, that was a special time and a highlight of the Star Wars weekends. They also were offering a lightsaber, uh, all sizes for 30. They were regular, so it's a sale on lightsabers. So if you needed to add to your Jedi collection, you could have done that, or your Sith collection, I guess.
So I think
And then,
my
I'm sorry.
understanding of that sale is that it's like you buy. There's three different size blades for the lightsabers, and if you buy all three, you get each for $30, or is it
Mm-hmm.
all three for $30? Oh, it's each for $30. Okay, I just
Yes.
didn't get why you would want multiple different sized blades.
Is it easier to carry? Maybe
I guess so. Also, I guess if you have a family, which I don't,
that would be
other
another
than
reason.
just me and
Yes.
my wife, who are both adults and don't have any kids,
I
and our
have yet to.
cats don't have lightsabers.
I have yet to invest in a collectible lightsaber. I still just have the sturdy plastic with the. So yeah, yes, Juby, my husband, hyperspace Tuplov was not canon. So yeah. And then Mike, you were able to watch a presentation from D23 about the creation of merchandise for Galaxy's Edge, and they actually highlighted some stuff coming.
Yeah, that was pretty interesting. They had interviews with some of the people on the merchandising team for Galaxy's Edge, and they talked about all the stuff that we saw throughout the last year and a half in the land and how they developed those ideas. And then they also gave us a preview of a few new items coming, including this Dianoga. It's not plush; it's a plastic Dianoga, but it has like mechanical actions that it can
I'm so
perform.
excited.
Yeah,
I'm
I think
so
the eye
excited.
stalk goes up and down, and the eyelid blinks and stuff. So that looks really cool.
Yay.
I'll be sure to grab one of those when I see it. I'm sure it'll be here at the Star Wars Trading Post before we get it in. Before the park opens and we get to go in Galaxy's Edge here, but then
Oh,
Jeremiah will have it in Galaxy's Edge in Florida.
yeah. Oh, no, I'm super excited. I cannot even believe that a Dianoga is coming. I am beyond excited. And then they talked a bit about the creation of some items that we've already seen
Yeah, so
as
this is
well.
a larger scale one of these kind of wooden puppets, but for Boba Fett, that's going to be coming soon. I think he said it was coming soon. And this is behind the scenes kind of how the holocron works.
Because they had some unique tasks here with the holocrons. These were items that had only existed within the animated
Yeah.
series, so it's different than the other films, because those, you have a tangible item that has been in kind of real world existence, but these have only been animated, so you had to come up with a way to have them operate in a similar way to they were animated, but yet dealing with the real world dynamics. So it's very cool to learn a little bit more about that process. And this was a video that they offered for the over at D23 as part of their Fantastic World virtual celebration event.
Oh yeah, here you can see the back side of those shirts that I was showing, or that you had the pictures up earlier, and you can see the 4 pin sets that we saw earlier as well. And then we got some.
I was going to say, this is the thing that Mike's most passionate about, I think.
Well, not these, because these are all characters from the Clone Wars that I don't collect, but it is cool that they have announced these for the Star Wars Black Series from Hasbro. 2 of them are going to be from the Bad Batch, who are these. It's a team of clones that weren't. They had some. I forget what you would call it, like a. I don't even know
like
the word.
Boy, I am blanking on it too, Mike.
Yeah, not a mistake, but they had some irregularities, I guess, in the cloning process. But they turned out to be like advantageous, so they put them all on this one team. Like, so one of the characters is named Hunter. He's the leader, I think, and he's like a Rambo kind of a guy. That's him. And then the other character that's getting a figure is Crosshair, and he's the like sniper kind of guy.
There he is.
There he is. Yeah. And then, like you were showing, they're also making, for the first time ever in the Black Series, which is weird because this is a character that's been around for decades now, almost. And this is Asajj Ventress, who is the protege of Count Dooku, who is also a Dathomirian Night Sister, and she goes on to be a bounty hunter and all sorts of stuff in her long history of that character. But when this got announced, it seemed like everybody was very excited. And I'm not a Clone Wars guy, but this is the one I think that people were most psyched about to finally get a Black Series figure of it. And
I was going to say that the Night Sisters are quite popular as far as like collectibles and.
Yeah, and then this is the smaller scale 3 3/4 inch vintage collection. They're getting a new figure of this character Zutton, Zutton, who was previously known as Snaggletooth in the original toys, and they've made him a handful of times over the years, and this is just the latest iteration of that. I have him. The one that I have looks very different than this, but I think this is probably the most screen accurate one that's come out. That's it for that announcement. And then Minecraft, which I have no idea about, but it seems like Gideon knows about this game.
Yes,
so you want to take this?
Well, no, this is just exciting. They've made available what they call a DLC, which means that you'll be able to exist within your Minecraft world, but be in the world of Star Wars. And this particular offering will include figures from the random thing, figures from the Mandalorian, and like the Child. You'll be able to ride Bantha. So lots of fun coming to your Minecraft offerings, but with a Star Wars twist. So yeah, it's just an additional buy-in. Like
so I have
any other.
I have Minecraft. I have on my Xbox. It like came with the Xbox I got as like a free download, and I played it for like an hour, and I didn't get it. But would I be able to get this on there?
I am still learning these things, and I believe so, but I know that certain like there's like 28 different types of Minecraft. It feels like you've got them for the PC, you've got them for the Xbox, you've got them for, and I believe that this one is also coming to those platforms, but I'm not 100% on that. So
Fair
But
enough.
according to this, you'll be able to play on locations such as Tatooine, Endor, Hoth, Navarro, both Death Stars. So yeah, and creative mode or survival mode, which means you can build and have a nice time, or you can be invaded by things and have to fight them off. So yeah, lots of I don't know. Mostly, I'm still just in a life day kind of mood. I had so much fun with you guys wandering around the parks and wishing I could be on Batu, having a
Oh yeah.
good time. Did you take? I know that StarWars.com had a quiz where you could find out what planet that you were most fitting to spend Life Day. It was, if you could pick a planet, they had the
Yeah.
quiz and they would ask you like what season and all that kind of thing. I
I
know
have not.
I found out that they think I should spend Life Day on Acto. So apparently I'm a solitary figure.
I haven't even had time to look at that, but it sounds fun.
Oh well, we've got a moment, so I'll give you the clues right now if I can
Okay.
pull it up real quick. So
Okay.
let me journey over there because I accidentally closed it on my browser. So here we go. Mike Celestino, we will discover what planet you should take. You should
Okay.
celebrate Life Day.
And
The first question.
I'll book my trip on Star Tours after we're done. After we
The,
figure out where I should go.
the first question. What is your favorite season?
I
Is
think
it
as an adult I'll say fall is my favorite.
what makes for an ideal vacation?
Uh ooh. I will say sightseeing.
Cool.
Oh god.
What's your favorite sport to play? I know exactly.
Well, I'll give you the one of these that I have most recently played, which is tennis.
Okay.
Which is still going back like 15 years.
How about choose a scent? Peppermint, pumpkin spice, ocean breeze, or fresh cut grass?
Ooh, I'll say ocean breeze.
Ooh, I picked peppermint. I love
Okay.
peppermint. That's like my thing.
Yeah, I have a peppermint tea that I've been having, and it's pretty good.
I have
Uh,
these plugins and it makes the house smell like candy cane.
nice.
Yeah. So which one of these makes the best seasonal treat? Are you a turkey, a pumpkin everything, festive cookies, or latkes?
I'm definitely going to say turkey because it's become this tradition in the last few years where I actually have figured out how to prepare a turkey, and I'm going to be doing it very soon again, which I'm super excited about.
Is there like a special Celestino trick to this, or you just
Yeah,
enjoy
the
the
trick is
process?
called Google. But I just never thought I would be doing that because I'm a terribly lazy person and I don't have a history of cooking. So,
Okay.
but yeah, the last I think this will be like the third or fourth year that I'm gonna do it. We're gonna get the turkey from Ralph's and I'll spend the day on Thanksgiving cooking it up. I'm excited. It usually
I
comes out pretty good.
I have to admit I have yet to do that because I'm married to a vegetarian. So it would be turkey for one. And now Gideon would eat turkey now, but for the longest time it would have just been turkey for one. So I've never tried to do the Thanksgiving turkey. I've always been, miss sides. I bring the sides to the meal because I make sure that I bring lots of vegetarian options for my husband wherever we ended up for
Yeah.
Thanksgiving. So okay, so festive attire: a holiday sweater, a sequined dress, anything all black, or a nice hat.
Oh boy, I'll say a nice hat. I think I don't really
I,
wear
I would
any of the other stuff.
I'd agree based on your Jungle Cruise paper purchase.
Right,
I'll,
right.
I'll go I'll go with a nice hat. How about the holiday decoration? Is it pumpkin for you? A string of lights, a tree to decorate, or a wreath? When you think
Let's go.
holiday
Let's go
decor,
lights. I think I always like the lights.
we're near the end.
That's
What's your
fine.
favorite
We
cold
got
weather
nowhere to be.
activity?
Uh, hmm. Oh, these are all pretty good.
I
I
know.
like I like all these. See, there were some before where I didn't like any of them.
Itty. I don't know. Let's see. Ice
I'll
skating,
say,
fall, break a bone.
let's say ice skating. We do that every once in a while, and that's
Do you?
always fun.
Oh, that's lovely.
Even here in LA, they do it in some
Yeah,
places. You got to
we have
find it, but
we have several rinks up here in the Bay Area, so we normally do it. I'm curious to see in this current scenario if there'll be any. So
yeah.
I'm waiting. Now choose a mode of transportation: plane, train, automobile, bicycle.
I
Got to
have
get there
always,
fast. Got to get there
yeah,
fast, but kick back.
right. Well, I hate plane travel, although before the lockdown this year, I was doing it an awful lot. And I also don't care for driving, and I don't have a bicycle, so I'm gonna pick train. I've always wanted to travel like a long distance on a train, and I've never done it. Like take a long train trip, so that'll be my
What's
choice.
the longest train trip you've enjoyed? The circle around Disneyland?
Oh no, well I think I've done like New York to Washington D.C. a few
Okay,
times, but that's probably the longest.
we did that. We did that trip, Doobie, didn't we? New York to DC. Yeah, yeah, that exact trip. We flew from Florida up to New York, and
No,
then took
wait,
a train.
okay. Would How long would that have been? That's like 3 hours,
I
you
I
think?
think I think so. Yeah,
Yeah,
that sounds about right.
because I've
I
also
really
done
wanted to do a
L.A.
trip.
Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I've also done LA to San Diego, but that's probably
Uh,
shorter. I don't know. Go ahead.
yeah, yeah, I would think that's shorter. Yeah, I really, really someday would love to do cross the U.S. Pick whatever the longest train route is that crosses the U.S. and do that. Oh yeah. Okay, now which Star Wars
I've
character would you want to spend life day with?
Yeah, I've already picked my answer for this one. I was laughing because of this one was like tailor made for me. So I'm gonna go with Max Rebo, who's one of my favorite puppets from Return of
I
the
love
Jedi.
it. Oh, so you must have been thrilled to see him show up for Life Day, the Lego
Yeah,
special.
that was pretty funny. You
Ta-da!
know, I don't have that Max Rebo minifigure. Does that actually exist, or is that just in the? Oh, I go to Kashyyyk, which is where they actually celebrate Life Day
Of
on
course,
the holiday special.
of course, the Star Wars expert on Laughing Place, our editorial director of Star Wars content here, would end up on Kashyyyk.
Or
So,
Kazook, as they
I,
say in the original Star Wars holiday special.
okay, there were so many things that were bizarre about that special. Can I just say, like
Well, that's
the
the one thing I wanted to talk about that we hadn't talked about because you said Doobie watched it last night for the first time. So I think,
yeah,
you can go and listen to me talk about it on the podcast, but we should also like cover it here as
we
well.
should. Do you have some time? We can talk about it right
Yeah,
now. I can
yeah,
bring I can bring Doobie over here, but I'm not sure
yeah.
how to get you to talk too. Oh, put yourself on right there. Oh, okay, he's gonna join us so we can all talk about it.
Okay.
But one of the moments that just really kind of like caught me off guard was after they pummel the oh, there he is. Um,
You're
there's
gonna get
gonna
an
be this
echo
weird
there.
echo. Okay, there I got it. Do you have an echo?
Okay.
Mike, are you okay?
I'm hearing an echo because
All
I
right, let
think
me
he's
shut
picking up your mic.
Oh, he's
up.
gonna.
I'm in the trench of Torito and heading to the Death Star.
Oh, I'm getting to see more of your wall
I know. I'm
decorations
like,
and stuff. Yeah.
I'm all
I'm
nervous
using,
all of a sudden. I'm like,
I'm using the Force.
Flags of the world.
All right. Is the echo gone?
yeah,
Yes.
the echo's gone.
Should be still here.
But so we watched Life Day all together as a family last night, and that was a blast and a half. And Doobie, you guide the conversation now. We'll join you.
So I've heard for years and years that this is like one of the worst shows you could possibly imagine, to the point where my expectations, even my expectations were extremely low. Extremely low. And it was worse than I ever could have thought. It was just brutally, brutally bad, to the point of, was this 77, 78, I assume?
78. November 1978.
Was life that different 40 years ago that this kind of thing could end up on primetime network television?
Yeah, I guess so. I don't
I
know.
mean, the one cool thing I can imagine is, there were people, I assume not everyone saw Star Wars, believe it or not, in 77. There was no VHS. There was no re-release that anyone could ever conceive of. So for people that never saw it, to actually get to see some of these things, see the cantina, see the characters that they missed in the theaters, I can see where that would be pretty spectacular. But I'm not sure the decision to focus on Chaka from Land of the Lost and Dorothy from Golden Girls and the funny guy from
I
Carol
didn't heard
Burnett,
yet.
as opposed to the actual characters of Star Wars. Oh, and then the singer from Dynasty. And of course, when you do Princess Leia, you want to focus on the thing that they most brought out in the movie, which is her singing ability. So it was bizarre. And I'm glad I saw it.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it was my first exposure to Star Wars because I didn't see Star Wars in theaters. So I'm pretty sure that my introduction to these characters, other than like commercials and trailers and whatnot, would have been
Action figures.
at least the special. But I'm not 100% for sure because it may have been I just saw lots of commercials for this special. So, but what was your favorite moment, Juby?
So the favorite, I assume you mean the most memorable.
Okay, sure.
The scene, and I'm trying to, I don't remember the setup for it. I just remember a bunch of little creatures dressed in red marching, like they were like hologram type creatures, and they were dancing to music or something and marching. And am I conveying this properly?
It's like Cirque du Soleil in hologram form, right?
Yeah.
On the chess table, right? I mean, to me, what looked like that game.
Yeah, on the hollow chess.
The...
I know the terminology. That's called a hollow chess. Right, Mike?
Yeah, it was called hollow chess for a long time, and now they've called it Dejeric because they need like very specific weird names.
I'm old school. Old school. One of you fangled prequel people.
Okay, I'm gonna add a few more in.
One more.
Okay.
I forgot the word. Something stir, whip, stir, whip, stir. It was bizarre. Diane Carroll. Okay, I'm sorry. We were watching with Gideon, and when they introduced Diane Carroll, we're like, that was not family appropriate. It was PG-13 at best. But I'll shut up. We have more people who want to give their opinions.
So one of my favorite cosplays I've ever seen at Star Wars Celebration was a gentleman dressed as the Harvey Korman alien chef character with the 4 arms, and he kept doing the whipster, whipster. And I think I have a picture of him somewhere. I got to track it down.
Before the others chime in, Sparkles wants to say, "I'm so jealous of you meeting Anthony Daniels, aka C-3PO." That was a pretty epic moment. Even if it was just via Zoom, to now have Zoom call with Anthony Daniels on your list of things, that's very sweet.
It was a great question too. I thought Mike's question was really good and loved Anthony Daniels' answer. So you got one shot, Mike, and you didn't blow it. Way to go.
Okay, so Ben, what you gonna add to our conversation on the classic?
For years, I heard how bad the thing was, and I always presumed like people thought it was bad because it was like a variety show of like a Star Wars overlay, and people, you know how Star Wars fans can be,
really,
like a little too intense and not take itself, like a little too focused on canon.
People say that the word literally is fanatic, but go ahead.
Right. No, but like I mean, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way at all. But like they could say, I could see people being upset with it because it was not canon or silly and had a musical guest.
Okay, so to your point,
I love bad variety specials. The Christmas Day Parade every year is the highlight of my holiday season, and this is so bad that it's not even so bad it's good. It's like beyond so bad it's good. It's so bad it's still very, very bad.
How about you, Jeremiah? You agree with the guy up there?
It's horrible. Like this, I don't know how it's in my memory. Like, because I think I saw it when I was a kid and it just burned in my memory. Because I don't remember ever having a VHS copy or seeing it until probably like 10 years ago when the internet came about, or I got it at a Comic-Con. I was like, why do I know all of this? But it's there. And I actually think today our coverage of Life Day from Galaxy's Edge and Downtown Disney was better than the special, and we should do this every year.
Nah. I loved it. I had so much fun watching it. I'm sorry. I really did. I had a good time.
That's what I expected, was to have fun watching it. But like you said, there's bad, there's so bad it's good, and then there's the Star Wars holiday specials.
And
What about the fact that pours beverage down Harvey Korman's head?
they brought Chewbacca's family into canon? Like when I was reading Aftermath, and he goes to Kashyyyk, or however they pronounced it in the show. Mike, you can.
Yeah, Kashyyyk.
It's Kazook in the holiday
Kazook.
special, but
Yeah.
Kashyyyk would be the correct pronunciation now.
And all
I
of a
believe.
sudden, and this is spoilers for a book that's been out for 5 years, and Chewbacca finds his son, and they give Lumpy like this long name. I was like, really? They just brought Lumpy into canon? This is ridiculous.
That cracked me up. His name is Chewbacca. And what was his mom's name, Mike? His wife's name? I'm sure you know.
Mala.
Mala. And then it was like his dad, Irv, and his son, Lumpy.
His dad is Itchy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not exactly the traditional Kazuka name that Chewbacca and Mala had.
Uncomfortable because it starts to get into some weird like Black Mirror territory, and like when he's on the VR system, and you're like,
Let's not talk about that.
and you're like, this is a '70s holiday special. It can't be what it looks like.
I feel like there's a spin-off with Billy D. Williams, Lionel Calrissian, and whatever the Diane Carroll's character name was that's not safe for work. That's somewhere out there.
That show's going to be on Hulu, not Disney Plus.
Exactly.
That's why you have to pay more for Hulu.
Okay, one of the moments that caught my attention, which is really random, was when they pushed the stormtrooper over the edge. Right?
Yeah.
And then a few minutes later, the blaster is still sitting there, and rather than like keep it, Han just kicks it off the ledge down the side, and I'm like, why you're wasting a perfectly good weapon? I don't understand.
The Star Wars
Why are we
holiday
just
special
kicking it over the
is
side?
so bad.
How bad is it?
No, okay, bringing the '70s back. Like the best part was waiting for the commercials. Like you actually were waiting. You would go to the bathroom during the special to see like the dated commercials.
The highlight, to be honest, the best part to me, the thing I enjoyed the most, was the velvet robe, and I would like to see that fashion choice catch on, because that was pretty cool. I might have to get one.
Where you can see Chewbacca's hands after he shaved them in that robe.
Oh, I missed that.
That's kind of gross.
Oh,
But
I
when he
have to
kissed,
remember that. That's funny.
when he kissed his
The
wife,
picture, like you can see his hand sticking, like the picture we've used throughout the day of the celebration.
he and his wife's meeting up, and that was just so little interesting. I don't know if they were, because they kind of kissed, but then they kind of. And then I thought, okay, we're going to see some weird mating ritual, but then a long hug, and I got uncomfortable.
And it was funny because Mike and I had just been talking earlier that week about how amazing it was, the romance and the tenderness between the frogs when they met.
Right.
And then we had this moment, which had like none of that same reflection of tenderness and romance.
Rebekah, can you put that picture up, like on the big screen? I want to just point out how bad this picture is.
No, that's a life orb, isn't it?
Yeah, that's one of those little glowing
That's
orbs
like
that they were
life
carrying
They
around.
couldn't pay for the rest of the Chewbacca costume, so they just had the head and the red.
Isn't it a Snuggie? It's the original Snuggie.
They also couldn't pay Harrison Ford and Mark Hamill enough to act like they were having a good time, apparently.
The look on Harrison Ford's face here.
I think this is the origin. Like Carrie Fisher having to sing that song in this is the origin of all her life troubles.
Well, speaking of life trouble, so in the original Star Wars, they said James Earl Jones wasn't credited in the original, right? Was David Prowse credited in the original?
I think so.
I don't remember.
I feel like he was.
I
And
think
then in this one, this was the first time James Earl Jones got a credit, but they didn't mention David Prowse at all. I don't even know if he was in the costume, but I feel like that may have been the start of his issues with Star Wars and lack of respect and everything.
Well, the stuff with Darth Vader in this movie is a deleted scene from the original.
So why did they credit James Earl Jones?
Because they re-recorded new dialogue over the deleted scene.
But it was still David Prowse. He still could have got some respect there.
I think it was like an Alan Smithy situation. David Prowse wanted nothing to do.
And that's another really weird.
Call this again.
But if you think about this in context of the era, I mean, the film may have still been in theaters in some cases because 72 weeks I think was the longest run of it in theaters. But
the Roadshow edition was still going.
But other than that, really, this was your only option to see that footage again, right? Was to see this special because it had moments from the actual film that it was,
it had
showing
sets from the actual film.
The
cantina was part of the Mos Eisley's.
Here's a scenario.
That's so exciting.
Here's a scenario I fear: is there were people that didn't see Star Wars and were like, "I don't get what all this hoopla is about. This is not that big a deal. Who cares? There's no way it's that special." And then this free thing comes on TV, so they're like, "Fine, I'll watch." Those people had no chance to ever go see Empire. I feel like Empire's box office was just shot down because of this.
Yeah, if they hadn't made the Star Wars Holiday Special, Empire Strikes Back would have been a success.
You're on mute,
Benji's talking and I
It
can't
looks like
hear
you're making a great point.
Mike, is this the first expanded universe? Like, had the comics even come out yet?
Oh, the comics started before the original film came out. So
I read the comics. Yeah,
and there was the novelization and stuff. And I think Splinter of the Mind's Eye was before this.
That's the main Was Splinter before or after this?
I think it was early '78. So yeah, this was after Splinter of the Mind's Eye.
Was this ever considered canon?
No.
Cannon fodder.
More like bantha fodder. What are you going to say?
I was going to save this story for eventually when I showed up on Mike's podcast, but because
you haven't gotten invited.
My introduction to Star Wars was through a variety special. It was the Donald Duck's 50th anniversary birthday special, where they had R2-D2 and C-3PO, and I was like, "What? Who are those guys?" And so you joke, but there are poor kids. And when you go around and you say, like, "You don't like Star Wars? Where were you in November 17th, 1978? Because they were probably watching CBS.
Exactly. Star Wars could have been big if it wasn't for this thing. Could have been huge. And George Lucas would be a billionaire today.
And in classic Jeremiah fashion, I will say, if not for the holiday special, would Boba Fett be quite as beloved? Because
yes, he would.
He was born out of this special.
I would love to actually interview Lucas and go, so really, where did Boba Fett come? Was it the cartoon, or did somebody go, "Hey, we need a character. Okay, here's this cool thing. Oh, look, we'll just make him blue."
I think it's been confirmed that it's the latter. I think they knew the character was coming up in the next movie, and he was incorporated into this.
So Boba Fett's introduction was the Star Wars Holiday Special, and Boba Fett's exit was falling into the Sarlacc pit or whatever. That's kind of
I don't know.
Okay, I'm trying to keep it spoiler free. You guys want to go crazy, but
it's been around for a while. The possibility that maybe that wasn't quite as much of a demise as we were led to believe with the discussion.
For a character that popular, his introduction and extraduction were pretty pathetic.
To be fair,
he got extradited. What?
I think there's a rule where Boba Fett must be in all Star Wars live-action television projects.
Ooh, I'll have to think on that one.
Even though he was animated in the holiday special.
But I have to say that this
the Ewok adventure. I don't know.
What is the history of this thing, though? Seriously, was this a George Lucas idea? Was this CBS begging him?
This was money.
But from who asking for it? George Lucas trying to make some money?
Everything I've read says that George Lucas had very, very little to do with this, if at all. I think they just basically like gave them access to the costumes and the characters and the actors, and it's partially written by Bruce Vilanch,
I was telling
famously
you that.
Yeah.
of like Hollywood Squares and Academy Award writer fame.
That doesn't stand out at all. No.
Here's the thing: if you think of George Lucas, who's defined by like the 50s, right? American Graffiti, the serials, that sort of early age, you could see his attraction to the idea of doing
Sure.
a TV special. But what probably happened is, he didn't realize, he probably bit off a lot more than he could chew doing Empire and all this. And so, I think they probably sort of outsourced it. Kind of like, the history of Lucasfilm is filled with things where George Lucas gets mad that he let somebody else do something. And then, the Clone Wars animated series before the Clone Wars animated series that has sort of disappeared into the ether, video games, things like that. So I could see why I understand that he could think it's a good idea, but then just see it come together and be like, what have we done?
This is the guy who made Howard the Duck. So
I also heard it was a B. Arthur passion project.
One of my favorite moments recently regarding the Star Wars Holiday Special is on one of my favorite YouTube channels called Red Letter Media, and they sent one of their guys out to a convention a few years ago dressed as George Lucas, and he would go up to every booth that was selling like a bootleg DVD copy of the Star Wars Holiday Special and just snap it in half and give them like the $20 or whatever it was costing. And I just thought that was a great bit.
So I think, by the way, I learned just yesterday that they did not put the holiday special on Life Day, that Life Day actually came out of the holiday special. I thought Life Day predated it for millennia. So that was a good education. But I think what we've done here is created a new Life Day tradition wherein the LPers gather together and rip apart the Star Wars holiday special.
Mark my words, next Life Day, LP watch along.
Great idea.
That would be fun.
Mike, have you ever watched the George Lucas Talk Show podcast, videocast?
I don't think I have.
It is hilarious. It's a guy who dressed like George Lucas, and it's comedians just making lots of jokes. So it's something to go watch, and then we can bring them into LP at some point.
Okay.
Oh,
So here's the thing: as fans, we are so lucky that this did not air a day later on CBS.
I know.
I know.
You would have been totally, as a Disney site, we would be all talking about Mickey all day, and Life Day would be gone.
Do we know what day of the week it aired? Because are we sure Life Day's that day and not like the first Wednesday or the last Wednesday preceding?
It's not like Thanksgiving.
We don't know. Did anybody ask Chewie?
I mean, the month of November doesn't exist in Star Wars, so I like.
And Life Day could be a celebration of multiple days. It is kind of like Hanukkah, where it's multiple days, but we chose this as the one day.
Here's my question, though. Okay, I learned that part of the celebration on Kashyyyk, they gather around the Tree of Life. So how come they didn't have this at Animal Kingdom? Come on.
That is a great point. Next year.
It
Come on.
aired on a Friday, preempting Wonder Woman and the Incredible Hulk.
Ooh.
Wow. I hope he didn't get angry about that.
That's his secret. He was always
I
angry
know plenty
about
of people just wanted to spin around and get out of there.
Oh, Dino Tom. No. It is November
Okay.
7th.
Oh!
birthday.
I wanted to say one of the other things that I forgot to say.
Don't worry,
so-
Dino Tom.
Sorry, I cut you off.
No
No,
worries.
go
Go ahead, Mike.
I forgot to say this on the podcast, but a fun game to play while you're watching the Star Wars Holiday Special is trying to figure out whether the B-list celebrities involved had seen the movie Star Wars before they shot this holiday special.
Oh,
And I think it varies among them. But I'm pretty sure some of them had and some of them had not.
Who were the B-list celebrities? I saw
all.
Diane Carroll and B. Arthur and Harvey Korman. I mean, I only saw the cream of the crop.
A-list celebrities, Mike.
Art Carney of the undergrads.
Art Carney may have been B-list. That was probably a little bit after his honeymooners days, I'm guessing.
Art Carney is
There
the
you
one,
go.
I think he's like the
There you
most
go.
committed to the whole thing. He did a really good job, I thought.
That's how you
Oh,
know.
did you see B. Arthur pour that picture down the guy's head? That took some commitment.
That's true.
They see Star Wars and they're like, "That's a little young for our 90-year-old demographic. We need B. Arthur, Art Carney, and Harvey Korman."
Well, it was CBS, so CBS is always focused on the nearly dead age traffic.
I will say that as we were watching this special, I was like, "Wow, how long has CBS had this reputation of their demographic audience?" So
I was like, how long has B. Arthur been old? she feels like the Wilford Brimley of actresses, I think.
so it was such fun.
Don't take that away from Angela Lansbury.
Oh, that's a good point. Okay, fair enough.
Oh no, you haven't seen The Court Jester.
Hey, Angela Lansbury was hot in The Court Jester.
Yeah, I was gonna say you haven't seen The Court Jester.
Moving on.
Jeremiah?
Danny Kaye. It's a Danny Kaye film. It's very fun and entertaining.
She is stunning.
The song that B. Arthur sings ends with her talking about, like, the lyrics are like, "Have another one for the road, friend," or something like that. And I kept thinking, like, she should say, "Thank you for being a friend," but it never
that
happened.
would be great.
Oh. That's the other thing. There isn't
words.
really a singable song that came out of either of these. Like, neither the classic special nor the Lego holiday special have given me a song that I can walk around singing like Phineas and Ferb does.
There is no need for any Christmas song to come out of any holiday special when we have "What Do You Get a Wookiee for Christmas When He Already Owns a Comb." That is the perfect Star Wars Christmas song.
It did give us a memorable music video, though. Diane Carroll stole the show.
No, I liked Jefferson.
That's not something you steal. That's something you want people to take.
She left two. Broke in and left another ticket.
There was an animated sequence.
That was the actual highlight, right? People say the animated sequence was the best part.
I would agree with that. It is the most entertaining part for sure.
But it's still like, what is it, a 7-minute segment? It runs long.
And it's very bizarre also.
Yeah.
But it gave us the Mandalorian's pulse rifle and the whole mythosaur thing for the Mandalorians.
So it is canon.
I mean, they chose bits and pieces to keep.
So were you impressed with my creativity, Mike? My Bosk snowflake?
Yeah, that's awesome.
R2D2 snowflake.
I think I saw it yesterday. You had shared a picture of it. And I thought it was just something you had found on Twitter or something. But yeah, that's amazing.
No, there's a website. There's a gentleman. I want to say his name is Anthony Herrera. And each year, hang on. And each year he releases a collection of Star Wars snowflakes. And I went and found Bosk and R2D2 so that I could decorate Life Day appropriately.
And where did you get those emoticons or emojis of the Star Wars characters?
I just snagged it from the Disney emoji game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Printed them out and hung them on the wall.
And the best part, this is only Act 2 of our Life Day celebration. This morning we had our Interplanetary Life Day celebration, then of course Star Wars headlines, and coming up in just 2.5 hours, we have Disney Trivia Live, where we have a special Life Day contest, which you better win, Mike, since this is one of the maybe the first Star Wars contest you didn't actually write, so you get to play.
That's true.
I hope
and then
they did.
We'll also be celebrating Mickey Mouse's birthday with our second contest. So that's coming up at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Back to you, Rebekah. Oops. Back to you, Rebekah.
No, I was just getting ready to wrap it up here, although I was going to ask Jeremiah if he enjoyed his tip yet.
Yes, just like Poe said, Life Day may be about friends and family, but it's mostly about the tip yet.
Yep.
Benji?
Yeah,
Good night,
got anything? You got anything to add before we sign off?
Is it okay to eat tipia eggs, or is this now taboo too?
Only if they're not fertilized.
I think it depends if the tip-yip is sentient or not.
Weird rules in Star Wars, man.
So,
what you fanatics get crazy over is funny, Mike. I just tell you.
Next year when we do this for the next anniversary, we're going to have to look back on this and go, so if we weren't all trapped in our house for all these months, would we have found this as entertaining?
I can speak for Ruby and say yes.
I just want to share our wish that hopefully next year at Life Day, this situation we're in will be over and we can all resume our normal Life Day traditions instead of having to do this through Zoom or whatever.
We can all wear our red velvet robes at Animal Kingdom and gather around the tree.
Can we say, seriously, can we do a thing next year, Life Day, if everything gets back to normal, everybody picks a resort, left or right, puts on the velvet robe and go get some tip yip. I seriously want to do that next year. November 17th.
Couldn't we just wear our holiday PJs?
No, we saved that for Christmas. This is Life Day, velvet robe.
Okay, then I'm calling California because I don't want to be here in a velvet robe.
It was hot today.
Velvet tank top.
I don't think you'd do that much better on the West Coast today.
Yeah, it was hot today.
It was actually somewhat cool today, so that wasn't good.
If it's Tony, Tony can just bring out his velvet tank top. I'm sure he has one.
Yeah. Oh, well. I should probably wrap this up. You guys have rambled on.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, Beth.
Bye, guys. Thank
Bye,
you.
Judy.
Bye.
Okay, well, if you've stuck around with us, we appreciate it. We've been having a lot of fun this today with our Star Wars coverage, celebrating all the fun and nonsense, I guess you could say, that has been birthed out of the holiday special.
It's just the kind of stuff that original holiday special inspires, that kind of wackiness and, I don't know, silliness.
Oh, and let's be honest, it's a coping device because we can't go back to.
Oh yeah, we can't go anywhere. So yeah, you gotta make your fun where you can find it.
Yeah, so that's what we're in the midst of. So thanks for joining us. But just don't forget, in a couple of hours at 7:30, right here is going to be Disney Trivia Live, and because it is Life Day, we're going to have some Star Wars trivia, and because tomorrow is Mickey Mouse's birthday and Minnie Mouse, we're going to have some Mickey Mouse trivia as well. So we'll see you all real soon. Like and subscribe if you want to know what else is going on. Bye for now.